And again, I want to premise this in the right way, because I know I said this to you the other day, and I'm not doing this to try and catch you out or anything. I'm genuinely intrigued. So I kind of saw a lot of your tweets over the weekend and part of your fan cam where you sort of spoke about Unai Emery, you spoke about Mikel Arteta. And the way it's kind of been twisted by a lot of people is sort of that you're backing Unai Emery. You think he's a better manager. You're kind of praising him for what he's doing. Although you wanted him out and you wanted him sacked from Arsenal, a lot of people will see that as sort of like talking out of both sides of your mouth, in the sense of, yes, you may still think he's better than Mikel Arteta, but he was also a failure at Arsenal as well. So why is he now getting kind of props from you? Now, I'm genuinely intrigued for your take on this. That isn't me. I'm just trying to present to you what people are saying and get your kind of response to that. Because a lot of people view it as, why are you now backing Unai Emery as this brilliant manager when you celebrated him being sacked as the Arsenal manager?
Because unfortunately for you and everybody else out there that's putting out a clip of, oh, Lee Gunner, oh, yes, Emery's sacked, oh, brilliant. You all forgot to put out a clip of me saying, as soon as Arteta actually was on the verge of getting the job, bring back Unai Emery. You all forgot that bit. But again, that don't get clicks, does it? Yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't really want Unai Emery. But you didn't actually want Unai Emery back, did you?
Yeah, I did. Anybody? Right. Let me stop right there. How many people are watching this right now?
2,700.
Out of the 2,700, the people that have watched me, that will be watching my watch along and watch me on a regular basis, how many times did I say, as soon as he was on the verge of getting that job, when Vinay was coming out of his house, yeah, and the reports were doing the rounds, how many times did I say, bring him back?
So look, can I ask you a question?
I didn't want this manager because I knew he'd amount to nothing. Right?
Okay. I want to ask you a question about it.
He is statistically a better manager. Yes, he's had a longer career, right? But at the same time, Terry, yeah, that guy has won more than this manager will ever win in his entire career, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Not only that, the manager has been ridiculed by everybody in this country, yeah, or England, right? Everybody in England for taking the mick out of him because he couldn't speak English, never gave him a chance because he was the manager that came in after Arsene Wenger. So everybody was upset and salty that Wenger got potted, and he did get potted. Leave or we're sacking you, right? So he left, and you could tell that in his press conferences because he was angry, right? He was a dead man walking. That could have been anyone, because them people that wanted Wenger to stay were never going to back Emery. The only reason they're backing this guy so much is because he was the captain that ended our 9-year trophy drought under the manager they were infatuated with. Right, that's why. And then on top of that, you've got all the PR around this manager. Yeah, this manager, Unai Emery, knocked both of our clubs out, beating us in a semi and you in a final to win a European trophy. If we had given that guy 640 million in 4 years, wheel out a dog, process his projects, let him rip out the whole squad, give him the players he wanted. He wanted Thomas Partey, he got Terrace. He wanted Zaha, he got Pepe. Yeah, yes, he wanted Harry Maguire. Yeah, he ended up with Socrates. Right. Well, much of a muchness, let's be real. Yeah. Let's not pretend he weren't embarrassing in that final. However, yeah, the toxic and negative squad that apparently Mikel Arteta inherited, Mikel Arteta went and won a trophy with it. Well done, we cheered that, right? But at the same time, to think that this manager is better than Unai Emery, what are you waffling?
So that is a fair point, and that I understand, and I wanted to ask you the question. And I did the video the other day and had a bit of laugh, but I messaged you before it went out.
Yeah, everyone misses out the other videos that I've done where I said,
and that's the case for everybody, because I get asked questions all the time. I've been asked that question today. Terry, you said sacking a manager won't fix the club. What's changed? I haven't changed that stance. It's been said in other videos. We all kind of go through that. The one bit I am genuinely confused about, I want to ask you. I understand you thinking Unai Emery is better than Mikel Arteta, and I think statistically and on trophies, you're right. But why did that make you want a manager back that you wanted sacked, that didn't do a good job at Arsenal? What was it that I understand you not winning up?
You saying didn't do a good job. He got us to our first European trophy, final in 20 odd years.
Okay, so but you hold on. So hang on, let me premise the question again. No, but I want to premise it because I understand they got you to that final, but you celebrated him being sacked. You wanted him out. Yep. Why is the appointment of Arteta? Why did Arteta being appointed change your mind? What made you realize you got that wrong?
Because the manager had never managed a football club, Terry. It's not rocket science.
No. What made you got it wrong that Unai Emery was the right man for the job, not Arteta? Leave him out. Because
the manager we were going to sign is a rookie that has sat next to Pep and never managed a football club. In fact, actually, that's a lie. He managed Man City to their only defeat in a group stage game. Yeah, and it's still their only defeat in a group stage game in the last 7 years in the Champions League. He lost to Lyon. Yeah, the only time, I think Pep's mum had just passed away, or dad had passed away or something, so he managed a game and lost to Lyon at home, right? He'd never, ever, ever managed a game of football in his life, apart from that. So on that basis alone, we might as well keep this guy, because we're not going to be that elite level club to go and sign an elite level manager if we're going to get a rookie that's never done it before. So yeah, not only that, fast forward again now with what we've witnessed, he's won nothing with his own team. So on that basis alone, I've been proven right. He's not won anything with his own players.
Let's put Arteta to the side, because I'm the Arteta element. I get
PSG, Emery. PSG under Emery have got them statistically is their best manager for win percentage ever.
So let me. I get your views on Arteta. I understand them. We've been through them. I get it. You didn't think Unai Emery was good enough. Why would he suddenly be good enough by reappointing him? What makes him good enough? And I know you don't rate Arteta, but if Unai Emery wasn't good enough for you and he fouled at Arsenal, why do you want him back? That's what I'm trying to understand. Why you want him specifically?
Because Arteta was the other option. I didn't want either of them, Terry. But if the only two options, that we were looking at were keep Emery or get Arteta, then I'm taking Emery all day long. How is this hard to understand?
No, but I didn't. So again, I understand that, but why would you
know? Because you clickbaited it with
no. I do them shows all the time, even when I praise you.
You even used it on another video in the first 10 seconds of the video.
I'm still confused. Yeah, no one knew what it was about. It's just it made me laugh the way you said it. For me, I'm still confused as to why you would want a manager back that's fouled that you wanted sacked. Based on the fact that you go by the standards, shouldn't you be asking for neither of them? Why are you propping a manager?
If you'd done your research properly instead of just listening to a 10-second clip of me saying, yeah, thank God Emery's been sacked. And if you actually listen to other videos in and around that timescale, I wanted Ancelotti.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted Simeone.
But that doesn't answer my question. That doesn't answer my question. And the reason that, again, I could do the research and watch back hundreds of videos that are old. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go through.
Because that won't get you the clicks.
No, I'm going to ask you on the show the question and get straight to the answer.
No. Or how about actually go, do you know what? Lee celebrated Unai Emery getting sacked. Oh, I've then found a clip of him saying bringing back Arteta as the manager. But however, he didn't really want both of them. The only two options were these two. So he went with this one. Yeah, even though he wanted him sacked, he thought he's the better option. But however, I found other clips of him saying he wants Simeone or Ancelotti.
So because I want to ask you the questions and have a conversation. If I just didn't do this podcast, what I'm going to do with Lee, I'm not going to do a podcast with him. I'm just going to go back and look at old clips and know it for myself. It wouldn't be a show. I'm asking you the questions because the audience are interested in the conversation about it. That's why we do it. That's literally. Otherwise, I don't. Why put your opinions on what managers and players and that have said and done on the internet? Why didn't you just say it to yourself in a mirror at home, or email the club the answer?
I only pick selective clips then.
What do you mean only pick selective clips?
Pick selective clips. You didn't pick a clip of me saying I wanted Ancelotti.
Because that's not the point that I'm raising.
No, it's not the point you wanted to put out there on that particular video.
No,
of course,
the reason.
The point is, I wanted Ancelotti.
And I'll tell you why. If you actually let me finish my question, I know you want Ancelotti, and I get that. So for me, you saying I'd rather have Unai Emery back, I get the point. If that's the only two options you've got, then I get that. But it's the way I see you tweeting and praising a manager that you know isn't good enough for your club. I look at it and think, for someone that goes on about standards, I don't suddenly get the sudden love for a manager that you wanted out. I know you want better managers than him. I don't understand it. And I'm just asking for you to explain it because I don't get it.
So you're talking about my tweets now, yeah? Right? How is a manager in phase one outperforming a massive institutional football club, a global brand, a global fan base? Because I'm pretty sure Aston Villa ain't as big as us globally, right? I ain't seen any Villa fans in Spain. Yeah, have you seen any when you've been on holiday to different destinations? I ain't ever seen a Villa fan abroad, right? So how can this small club, in terms of global size, income, outperform this manager? Because if you actually look at his record since he's been at Aston Villa and compare it to his to Arteta's record when he first got the job in the first 18 months, he's absolutely schooling him. Yeah, so again, you didn't do your research on that because I found some graphics over the weekend comparing Unai Emery's first time now under 15 months or whatever he's been at Aston Villa and compared it to Mikel Arteta's. The only difference is, that's league finishes and positions and stuff. Yeah, cool. Arteta won a trophy, and I'm grateful for that. And if you go and watch my video, it's one of the highest viewed streams I've ever done. Yeah, apparently I only get views when we lose. But if the only two manager options are keep Unai Emery or get Arteta in, I'm keeping Unai Emery. Yeah, how's that difficult to understand? And not only that, I did stream after stream after stream when Wenger got sacked. Yeah, saying I want Ancelotti. Yeah, I've done stream after stream after stream saying during that period where we would have had Freddie Ljungberg in there, saying I want Ancelotti or Simeone. Yeah, and all I got was, what did he do at Napoli? Yeah, Simeone plays negative football. Like, get out of it. What did we watch under this manager until last season?
Okay, so I know that you would prefer Ancelotti. That isn't a question that I would have to ask because I already know the answer to it. I only ask questions when I don't know the answers.
Yeah, but if you do your research before putting out one
there's no research needed. You put the thing out. No, there isn't. There's no research needed.
Well, there is. So you got sent a clip of somebody celebrating a manager getting sacked and didn't bother going back to the videos around that time to do your research to see whether that was just taken out of context, whether he wanted that manager, or whether it was
I'll tell you as to why. Because the fan channel reaction show is literally about out of context comments. I can tell you what my show's about. It's about taking snippets from people's shows. Yeah. I agree with a lot of things you say, and I back you on a lot of them as well, and you know that. And it's having a bit of fun with it. If I was to contextualize it's like a joke. It's like watching a comedian tell a joke and going, "Well, that's slightly out of context what you've said there, Ricky Gervais." It's not the point of it. It's whether people enjoy it or not or find it funny is irrelevant. It's for comedic value. So of course, these shows, there should be some fun element to it, but this is where we have a genuine conversation about it and talk about it. When I get clicked up on the internet and people take a 5-second comment out of it, it is what it is. I know why they've done it. It's to get a bit of a laugh. It isn't, no one takes that seriously. No one sits there and goes, I've lost respect for Terry because I've just heard a 5-second clip. They know it's out of context.
They just send a load of bollocks excuses and waffle and abuse to me instead, Terry, about my daughter, my missus, my mum, my sister instead. They just do that instead. I've told you this a million times in text. Yeah, taking one little thing in an isolated comment. Yeah, like when you put that clip of me not celebrating the first goal out of the first 4 in 25 minutes the other night against Lons. Yeah, and you put that on your Twitter. Yeah, and I was trending again for 4th time in 5 days or 3 times in 4 days. Yeah, weren't you getting the heat off of it? Yeah, not that I really care, but the point is there was no need to do that when there was 3 other goals in that. Hold on, there was 3 other goals in that 24-minute period that you could have clipped to me celebrating.
Of course, there was a point to that.
There we go, because but that won't get you the traction. It won't get me trending.
But it isn't again. But you're taking this very personal. And as I said to you when you went before, because you're bringing this up, I said to you, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings and it upset you, and I won't do it again.
I'm just telling you straight facts.
You were clearly upset about it because you come to me about it.
If it hurt my feelings, Terry, having all these comments at me every day, yeah, I wouldn't be on YouTube every day, uploading, streaming 5-6 times a day. This is my 3rd stream of the day, and I've got to watch it on fan cams and player ratings.
So Lee, I understand this, but the reason that I did it, and I told you why. Me and you do a show together. Me and you get on. Me and you are mates, right?
Yep.
So I'm having a bit of banter with you. I personally think it's okay for mates to banter each other. When you come to me and said, "Look, it's leading to people giving me abuse about my kid and my missus," did I do any more about it?
You deleted that particular one, yeah.
I deleted it and I stopped doing it because that was something that was hurting you. Because I'm not doing it to hurt you. I'm doing it as a mate.
I understand that. But then 3 days later, or 4 days later, 3 or 4 days later, you then post a clip of me celebrating Unai Emery getting sacked. Yeah. And not putting in the context. I said it in the show. I said the context is in the show. I said, when we do the show Tuesday, I'm going to ask him about it. There's people are that thick that watch this channel at times.
I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible. Hang on, I'm not. I'm not responsible.
You're not responsible for the content.
Let me finish my sentence. I am not responsible for what anybody sends you. The same as if you post a clip of me and someone calls me a prick, is that your fault?
No, but at the end of the day, you've got to contextualize the content.
No. At the end of the day,
of course you have.
I will hold my hands up, and if I hurt your feelings, if I upset you, I'll apologize. Lee, I am not responsible for what somebody else on the internet says about you. The same as you are not responsible for something somebody says to me. But to my point, and I'll actually get to the actual question now. The reason that I'm asking you about the Unai Emery thing, I get that you wanted Ancelotti. 110%, I get that. Don't need to ask that question because I know it. For me, what I find interesting, and you did it when you were talking there, right? you spoke about the Villa situation and how he's done so much better than what Arteta has, and I see you praising that. What I don't understand is how you're praising how well Unai Emery has done at Villa through the Villa lens, a smaller club, smaller budget, what he's done in a kind of calendar year process, and he's achieved more. And half an hour ago, you're telling me, and you've said on multiple other shows, that you judge every single football club the same. So based on judging every single football club the same, how are you praising a manager like Unai Emery that, by your definition, fouled at Arsenal and has fouled at Aston Villa because he's won nothing? That's why I don't get your praise for him. And
no, you don't. But you didn't listen to what I said about it.
And Lee, let me finish. And at the same time, I tell you that I don't judge every situation the same. You say you should. Every situation is the same. You look through the same lens. It's you win or you don't. So my question wasn't about, I think he wants Unai Emery back. I don't think you really mean that. My question is, you praise Unai Emery by your definition failing, and I don't understand it, Lee. That's all my question was.